guys. So I've got a proper train with me video planned for you today where I'll be going over my favorite music artists as of now, albums and singles and all that. This was requested in the comments of one of my latest videos. So I hope you enjoy. Alright, so I'm gonna preface this by saying I have written out a 2-page list of songs and artists. If you can't tell, I listen to a lot of music. So, throughout this video, I'm gonna be going through albums first, albums for specific artists, and picking either my top 3 or top 5 from that album, just because there is a lot to go through. So I thought we'd start off strong with some Michael Jackson songs, because that is what I've been listening to mostly for the past while. And I feel like everybody has, so I know that this is not just me. Okay, so the songs that I have been listening to are from the Spotify playlist, The Best of Michael Jackson. So those songs on there, minus like 3, are really the only ones that I can confidently say that I know. I'm not a true fan. I'm really not. This is a very recent development. But starting off, I'm gonna go down the list of the albums that he released in order, starting with Off the Wall. My top 3 songs from that album are Off the Wall, Rock With You, single version, and She's Out of My Life. Moving on to the Thriller 40 album, love that one. I don't think there's a single non-loved song in that entire album. My top 3 from there is Beat It, Thriller, and Human Nature. Then for the Bad album, this is where I personally believed Michael Jackson's popularity skyrocketed even further from where he became a pop star to a legend. Because some of these songs, man, there ain't even enough words to describe it. First, we have Bad, then Smooth Criminal, and I couldn't pick between these two from my third one. So for number 3, we have a tie of Dirty Diana and Man in the Mirror. Next up is one of my absolute favorite albums that he had released, is Dangerous, the Dangerous album. My top favorite song from that album, and my favorite Michael Jackson song of all time, is none other than Dangerous. I know, shocker. Then we have Black or White, that one's amazing too, and then Heal the World. I think the only song that I'm not exactly a fan of from that album is In the Closet, just because that just ain't me. But you know, to each their own. Next up is when he released the absolutely savage History, Past, Present, and Future album. Those songs are brutal and I love them. So my top 3 from there is You Are Not Alone. That song almost made me cry the first time I heard it. Then They Don't Care About Us, and Too Bad. Now for the Invincible album. These songs actually got me, like, dancing in my chair. They're real good. Number 1 is You Rock My World, and then Unbreakable. That song has been stuck in my head for, like, the past 24 hours. And Heaven Can Wait. That song is majestic as hell. And then I just have the single Blood on the Dance Floor from the Blood on the Dance Floor, History, and the Mix album. That's truthfully the only song that I've listened to from that mix. And now we're getting into the posthumous albums. The albums that were released after his death of his unreleased tracks. Now, from the Michael album, really, truthfully, the only one I have listened to is Hollywood Tonight, and that one is surprisingly good. It kind of reminds me of early 2000s music, like in Disney movies. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Escape, and I genuinely thought that the album's name was X Space before I actually had to write it down. I realized it was Escape with an X. The only song that I truly like from that album is Chicago, but I think everybody does. But, you know, if I had to pick a top three, it would be Chicago, Love Never Felt So Good, and then Blue Gangsta. Just because I can't deny that they are catchy. And I cannot forget the single Earth song, Radio Edit. That one tears through my soul every time I listen to it. Now that actually went a lot quicker than I thought. Although I'll probably be breaking it up to throw in pictures and whatnot. So we'll see time-wise about that. But right now, that is mostly my top 3 songs from all of his most listened to albums. Now, how about we move on to Charlie Puth? I haven't talked about that man in a while. So we'll start with his newest album, Whatever's Clever. I know I've talked about that before. Probably only like twice, if I'm being honest. But I'll pick my top 5 songs from that album. First is Sideways, featuring Coco Jones. Second is Love in Exile, featuring Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins. Third is Changes, then Washed Up, and finally New Jersey, featuring Raven Lene. I'm probably going to butcher some of these names, so apologies. And then, of course, the single reply to this. I feel like everybody loves that song who listens to Charlie Puth. It is a good song. It's fast-paced, but I can surprisingly keep up with it. And the acoustics in that song are just delicious. I love it. I love it. I listened to it on a repeat for like a week after it was released. I was that obsessed with that song. Now, I only do have 2 albums for Charlie Puth, his newest one, and then his Voice Notes album, because I've listened to a lot of songs from that album, especially during my teenage years. So, my top 5 from Voice Notes. First of all, we already have a tie, because I genuinely cannot pick between Attention and How Long. They're equally good. And number 2 is The Way I Am. That song had the dopamine boost back in like 2018 when this was released. Was this 2018? Was I even a teenager? Anyways. Number 3 is Empty Cups. Then Boy. And finally Slow It Down. Slow It Down really was given 2000s club vibes. Not that I'd been to any clubs. I don't do that. I can't stand the loud noises. But if I were to ever go to a club, I would totally expect that song to play. Now I have 2 more singles. Songs that most of you probably would know. See You Again and One Call Away from the 9-track Mind Special Edition. Now, See You Again is just a relatable song for me, and has always tugged at my heartstrings every time I listen to it. As for One Call Away, that is probably the only song I have ever come across that can actually calm my brain with how loud my mind can get. That is my song. One Call Away has always been my song since it came out in 2015, I think. Either way, that song, if I listen to that song, I cannot listen to any other song after it because it will not have the same effect. One Call Away is it for me. Alright, enough of the sappy stuff. Now we're getting into my rock era. Because I've always loved rock music. I think it's got its own charm. I think it's great. So we'll move on to Glimmers. I think they're kind of a niche group. I don't know if any of you have heard of them, but I just have my top 5 from one of their albums, The Art of Shattering, which I believe is their most popular album. Maybe even their only? I don't know. These are the only songs of this group that I actually listen to. So number 1, of course, we have Dancing Through the Flames, their most popular song, I believe. Then Emotional Whiplash, which the intro to that song literally sounds like a modernized rock version of the Stranger Things intro. Then coming in third, we have Little Life. Then False Hope and Bad Influence. I love the line from Bad Influence, Neptune Blue-Eyed Drama King. It's so funny to me. That is why it's number 5, because that is really the only line of that song that I actually listen to. Once I hear that, I skip and I move on to the next one. Because the rest is just kind of repetitive. But it's still a good song, I'll admit. Now next is another niche group, I'm pretty sure. It's As December Falls. And their album, Everything's on Fire, But I'm Fine. Let that sink in for a minute. My top 5 songs from that album are number 1, Angry Cry. I think that song will be in my top 5, like general top 5 of songs forever. I genuinely enjoy that song. And number 2, we have Fall Apart. That is definitely 100% a rock song. 100%. And number 3, we have Therapy. And then Bathroom Floor. And finally, Sometimes I Hurt My Own Feelings. Some of these songs, the titles are a bit darker, but they're catchy. I promise, they're very catchy. Alright, now how about we move on to something a little more lighthearted? Crash Adams. I mentioned them in my Stable Tour video, that I've been following Crash Adams for, I think, a little over 3 years now, and I still enjoy their music to this day. So, their album, Crashing Into Your Living Room Volume 2, I picked my top 3 from there because it was a very small album. There was only, I think, 6 songs, maybe 7. So I just picked my top 3 from that album. Number 1 is Heartbreak on Hold. I actually love that song. And then Hot Water and Karaoke. I believe this album is actually a year old. Like, almost exact. Because I remember when this album came out, Camp Western was around. And I was listening to this album throughout all of Camp Western. So I think this album is more or less exactly a year old, which is really fun to think about. And now we'll move on to my top 5 singles that Crash Adam has released. Number 1 is Live Like This. That song gives me motivation when I need it. Then it's Wrong Turn Right, New Heart, Optimist, and Destination Freestyle featuring King Vibe. That's the freestyle in that song is, in my opinion, the best freestyle that is in their discography. It is so good. It's so good. If you need a vibe, yeah. The guy's name is... the guy lives up to his name. King Vibe, yeah. Because that freestyle is a vibe. Now this is where the list gets very long and very random. Alright. I went through my junk playlist. If my junk drawer were a playlist. That's what it's called. And I just went down the list and picked the songs that I liked the most. There's no particular order to these. There's no from favorite to least favorite, from least to most favorite, none of that. No order, nothing like that, just songs that I enjoy. Some are by popular artists, some are by more niche artists. Some artists you may recognize, some you may not. And in here, for popular artists, I have a lot of Imagine Dragons, Panic at the Disco. I think I have a handful of 5 Seconds of Summer in here. And Fall Out Boy. I love Fall Out Boy. But anyways, starting off strong, Thunder by Imagine Dragons, as well as Believer by Imagine Dragons. Those two songs have been on my... Those are the first two songs on my playlist. The very first two. They've been on my playlist since I created the dang thing. However many years ago that was. Then another popular one, High Hopes by Panic at the Disco. And of course, Centuries by Fall Out Boy. You could see a common theme here. Warriors by Imagine Dragons. Oh, and another widely loved song, Counting Stars by One Republic. That song's absolute vibe. Oh, more Imagine Dragons, Whatever It Takes. And more Panic at the Disco, House of Memories. And here, okay, we're finally diverging from those ones. I think that's what my playlist mostly consisted of when I first created it, was Imagine Dragons, Panic at the Disco, and Fall Out Boy. That was most of who I listened to. And I still listen to a lot of their music this day. Next, we have Rabbit Hole by Suburban. Don't judge. It was a phase, but I can still say that I like that song. Now, is another popular one that I've seen used in many different kinds of edits, is Teeth Live from the Vault by 5 Seconds of Summer. Great song. Great song. Love that one. And another one I've seen used in edits. Some of these songs I have just stolen from edits because I like the song. So I saw the edit, liked the song, and put it on my playlist. Simple as that. This one, however, is Wonderland by this group. I cannot pronounce it. I'm not even gonna try. But these people. Oh, more Imagine Dragons. Yup, Bones. That was my favorite Imagine Dragons song for a while there. And it totally wasn't because of Beat Saber. Oh, I apparently do have a couple Crash Adams singles that didn't quite make it in my top 5 in general, but I still like them enough to where I put them in this list. This one is Somewhere in Vegas. I don't understand why that one's not in my top 5. I might have to change a couple things around. Maybe replace Optimus with Somewhere in Vegas. Because I think I might actually like that song a little more. Anyways, 2 more songs by Imagine Dragons. We have Demons and Eyes Closed, which that one I believe is still relatively new. It was only released like a year or 2 ago. But that one, I've heard some complaints about that song because it is quite different from like their Evolve album, which I believe is their most popular, but I still like it. I still like that song a lot. And now we have a niche artist, I believe, because this is the only song of theirs that I've ever listened to. It's called Superimpose by Elio? I hope I said that right. Oh, this song, yeah, don't be concerned. It's called Middle Finger. But again, I think this has to be one of my favorite songs, like, just ever, because it is so crazily relatable. It's by Bones. At least I think it's pronounced Bones, because there's an H in there. But Middle Finger? Thinking about it makes me laugh, but I know it's a good song. Oh, next up, we have One Last Dance from Venom, The Last Dance. As we know, I'm a Marvel nerd, so, you know, there had to be a Marvel song in there. And I found out that the artist, grandson, who made Blood in the Water, took part in making that song, so no wonder why I like it so much. Oh, we have one song by The Score on here, and that's Born for This. And you cannot tell me that that song does not give straight up X-Men vibes. Give the chorus a listen. I promise it'll make you think of X-Men. Oh, we have a couple Natalie Jane songs on here. We have Fallen and How You Been. Those two are really good. I think they're singles. They weren't a part of an album, but they're really good. I really like those two songs. And oh, we got a song for the girlies out here. Do It Like a Girl by Morgan St. Jean. It's definitely not one of my favorites, like, beat-wise or vocal-wise, but I have it on this list for the message. It's a great song. It's a great song for being a woman. I'll just put it like that. And we got another motivating song, Made It This Far by Chase McDaniel. It's like he's like a rock country artist. Like a blend between rock and country. And usually I'm very picky about country music. Very, very picky. But because he mixes it with rock, I like it. Oh, and next we have another song that really shows what generation I'm a part of, is Youngblood by 5 Seconds of Summer. To listen to that a lot during my preteen and teenage years. Or, no. Yeah, preteen and early teen years. Again, another one that may age me for some of you. Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd. I love that song. Still love that song to this day. Oh, this was like my #1 favorite song for as long as I can remember. It's Stereo Hearts by Gym Class Heroes and Adam Levine. I believe that's how you say it. I love that. I still love that song to this day. I adore that song. It is amazing. Oh, and we have a Charlie Puth single as well. This one was from an album, but it's really the only song from this album that I listened to. It's Light Switch. Everybody knows that song. That was the COVID era. The TikTok COVID era. Yeah, everybody knows that song. It's a good song. And another song from my teenage years, Something Just Like This by the Chainsmokers and Coldplay. I think when that song came out, that's when I was really into watching music videos. And I remember watching the music video of that song and just being, like, completely addicted to it. I listened to that song so much. Oh, another one. Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5, and not gonna bother pronouncing this woman's name. Christina... that. I'm not even gonna try. Okay, so we really are getting into these, like, late 2000s, early 2010 songs. At least I think. That's when most of these were popular. Anywhere between the late 2000s and mid 2010s. That was like peak music time. But next is All Night by The Vamps and Matama? Not Madonna, Matama. Whoever the heck that is. I don't even know. And then another one, Work From Home by Fifth Harmony and T.Y. Dolla $ign. And of course, Finesse by Bruno Mars. Again, that was a TikTok era, I think. But that song is still really good. Actually has me grooving. Kinda like Blood on the Dance Floor, except that song's better. No offense. Blood on the Dance Floor is just so good, okay? Whenever that song comes up and I'm not doing anything that needs my immediate attention, I actually have to get up and dance a little because it's just that good. Michael Jackson is just that goated that he gets a non-dancer, me, to get up and want to dance. My ankles have never been put to so much work in my entire life. Anyways, moving on. Another song that might age me a little bit is Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato. Again, I'm sure a lot of us know this song. As you can see, I don't really have a consistent line of popular artists. It's more of just their popular songs that I also enjoy that just ended up on my playlist. Artist-wise is Michael Jackson, of course, Charlie Puth, and Crash Adams. Those are really the only artists that I will go to their discography and just listen to their music. Everything else, it's just either a song or a specific album that they've released that I happen to like and it ended up on my playlist. That's honestly how I work with music. Anyways, we're almost done. These are the last 3 songs. This one's pretty niche, I think, because I've never heard of this artist before. I think they're new-ish to the industry, I'd say. At least when I discovered this song, they might have been. But it's Good Not Great by Jordy. Again, another very, very relatable song. Even just the title, Good Not Great, that pretty much sums up my whole life. I'm sorry. And another aging song. Me and My Broken Heart by Rixton. I shouldn't have to say anything. That song is catchy as frick. And finally, I thought we'd end with another really good, really popular song, Immortals by Fall Out Boy. And look at that, Sunkiss is finally maxed. What a lovely sight to see. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, that's all for now. Bye guys.